Welcome everyone to the Comic Couch Podcast. I'm here today with Blackjack, JillyMcBeam,
Good day.
Devlin,
Hello.
and Buoy.
Hello.
And today we've got a whole plethora of news, although not as much as we'd like because obviously it's the week after Comic-Con. Everything important, or really important, has been said before. So now we've just come to the scraps of the news week. So are you guys ready to talk about what we have today?
Absolutely.
I guess so.
That's
We
right.
have to.
Alright, so first up, pretty much what we had last week. We talked about the DCTV stuff first, and it's the same here. Today we've got Hawkman is confirmed to be in Legends of Tomorrow.
Yay.
Yeah.
Hip hip hooray.
I guess
Yeah.
that's something.
Yeah, it's just something to add to it, but
Well,
wow.
I guess it makes sense since they're doing Hawkgirl now, and is it Flash season 2?
Well, yeah, she's in Flash season 2 and she's part of Legends of Tomorrow, so
Yeah,
that makes
so
sense.
it
'cause
kinda
you have
adds
to
a-
have Hawkman.
Yeah, it adds a
I think-
dynamic to it, I
I think
guess.
this is going to be a heavily watered down Hawkman.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't think he's going to be an alien. I doubt we'll see much more or any of Thanagar. This
Oh,
will
I don't
just
think we'll
be
see
a guy
any
with
Thanagar.
wings.
Yeah, that's what I think it'll probably be. But didn't the actress who played Hawkgirl bring up that that they're going to do the whole past lives thing?
Yeah, I think they might
Yeah,
go
yeah.
with the
They
Egyptian
tie it into Vandal
gods route.
Savage.
Yeah, they'll probably go that route, the Egyptian gods. So, I mean, you kind of have to have Hawkman if that's the point, if that's the case then. So, I guess they can be like, Thanagar was just an Egyptian place. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't the Egyptian gods the one they used on Smallville as well, correct?
Dev?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so I could see
Also,
them kind of...
Smallville Hawkman gets a lot of shit for his costume, but he was a great character in that show.
Well, yes. Daniel Jackson from Stargate SG-1, if any of you nerds remember.
Nobody cares.
Hey, it's all connected. Alright, so let's move on from Hawkman. Not really a whole lot to say on that one, but it's cool. And this is my favorite part about the CW stuff, is that Constantine might be coming to Arrow.
That is good news.
That's
Yeah.
Better. That's better.
That's
better news than Hawkman.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
awesome.
going to be honest. I've only watched the first episode of Constantine,
Goddamn,
Boo.
you're dead.
I haven't
People
watched
like you that
any
got
of
that
it.
show canceled.
but I loved Matt Ryan in what I
Oh
saw.
yeah,
And
Yeah,
I'm
he
also
was-
I'm a relatively big fan of the New 52 Justice League Dark, and he's
Mhm.
great in that. So more
Yeah.
Constantine is no bad thing.
Yeah, Matt Ryan was definitely the best part about the show. Some of the episodes were weak, but I really enjoyed the season, mostly because he was so good in the role.
he was very, very, very good in the role.
Yeah. It's like when I read
That
a
show
Hell...
didn't even air over here.
Oh, yeah. I guess we have to take that into account, too. It didn't show in every country. But he did the role very well, and it's like when I read a Hellblazer comic, it's like it's his voice that's going in my head
Mhm.
instead
Yeah.
of Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the movie, but this was a much better, truer adaptation
Oh, yeah.
to the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Also,
Hashtag
This
save
might-
Constantine.
this might give us a chance of seeing Zatanna or Deadman, who I love.
Yeah, it really opens up the CW doors.
Yeah, it opens up the magic route, which is
And it-
really cool.
And it could
And gives them another chance to beat Marvel to Magic. Yeah.
It's-
I mean, do you guys think that this could possibly open to kind of a, I guess, a spin-off Constantine on CW?
I'd love that. As long as it's kind of done like with a better camera than what they use on Arrow or Flash. Like if it's closer, I doubt it will be, but if it's closer to how it looked on NBC than how it might look on CW, like Flash and Arrow, I'd be fine with it.
Mhm.
What would
because
CW Constantine be like?
it would look like Supernatural probably.
Yeah.
Visually.
Lots of hunky more.
I feel like
guys.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why they didn't pick up on it, because they already have a
Yeah.
show that's already like that.
Maybe this could be a
Um,
sign that I don't know. This could be a sign that maybe Supernatural's coming to an end because
Well,
it has
yeah.
been going on for like 11 seasons now.
Yeah, that's at
So
the
this might be an
Twilight.
indication.
Whatever will
that
I
it's-
do?
So this might be an indication that it's coming towards its end, and they're trying to look for a replacement for that. So this is definitely one way to do it, and I love it. I mean, it's because of that show I started reading the Hellblazer comics, and that is some dark shit. So, yeah.
Did they kill any babies in it?
You're alone on that. You're alone on that, James.
Well, yeah, I know. So yeah, Constantine coming to Arrow, very cool news. I'm excited as hell if it really does happen. It seems like it's going to happen. They're almost 100% sure it will. So here's hoping, finger crossed for me. And one more part of the CW DCTV universe is Anarchy and Mr. Terrific have been cast on Arrow.
And no one knows who they are.
Nope.
Yeah.
Anarchy will be played by Alexander Calvert, and Mr. Terrific will be played by Echo Cullum. Both actors I've
What a
never
name.
heard of before.
What
I
a
actually
name.
had to look up the characters and the actors both. when I was
What?
reading.
You had to look
No.
up Anarchy
Well,
and
not
Mr.
Mr. Terrific. I knew who Mr. Terrific was, but Anarchy I wasn't really too familiar with.
Wait, you knew who Mr. Terrific was, but you didn't know who Anarchy was?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
I
like going
actually-
even deeper.
I've read a comic with Mr. Terrific in it, but I
Okay.
didn't know who Anarchy was.
Anarchy's been in
A load of
one
shit
of the
recently.
Arkham games.
Yeah, he was in Origins. Arkham
Yeah, I
Origins.
Yeah, I'm
I haven't
He was in
read-
Nightfall.
I haven't read a whole lot of new DC comics, so
Mm-hmm.
He's old though.
Yeah, he's been ignored in the last I saw him. was
He
in,
got introduced in
Serial
Nightfall.
Year.
Yeah.
I saw him in Serial Year in one of the
Mhm.
tie-ins, and that's
Uh-huh.
all I've
He-
seen of him in the past couple of years.
He was in Detective Comics.
When he first appeared. Oh, in the New 52.
No. In the New 52, he was in an arc in Detective Comics, I believe.
He's definitely one of those characters who probably should get like a really cool defining story. Since
But-
he's been pushed to the back burner. But he probably won't. Well, I remember
Yeah.
because Anarchy's been getting like he's been treated almost like how Firefly's been treated recently. That he's appeared in a lot more things. Like he was just on. I don't know if you guys watched it when it was on Beware the Batman.
I watched a bit of it.
Yeah, he appeared.
He
in
was
a
like
few
one of the main
episodes.
villains, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah, he had a bigger role, and he's starting to get more. He's starting to be shown a lot more. So maybe it's indication he'll appear on the DC movies. Who knows? But here he'll be on Arrow. And
Well,
that's
if they're
pretty
using
cool.
him on TV, that usually suggests that they're not going to be.
But
in
it depends
movies.
if he's just going to be around for this season or episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Like
thing you can never really
Firefly.
tell with these castings on on Arrow or Flash is like how long are they going to
Yeah.
be around?
Yeah, they build up a big character and then they're like, oh, no, that's just one episode.
Mhm.
And then we killed him off because they gouged himself in fire or whatever.
So there's that news. I don't know. Does anyone have strong opinions on it?
I want to know if they're going to use Mr. Terrific's T-sphere things. Like, I don't know if you know about them. Like, they're these little silver ball things he has, and they just like go about and they're like little robot things.
Huh.
That they're kind of a somewhat sci-fi thing to put in it. So it'll be interesting to see if they use those or if they just kind of have him as a tech genius, but they don't really have any of his
Knowing
fancy stuff in the comics.
CW, and since it's on Arrow, they'll probably go more of a tech route.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was on Flash, then I'd probably more believe that they were going to do that. But this seems like it'll probably be more of the grounded,
Yeah.
reality-based thing. Because
Yeah,
remember,
they had
that's like what they
Brother
did
Ryan,
with
he
like
was just a
Solomon
computer
Grundy and
program.
whatnot.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if they play Anarchy off as a anti-hero.
I think they will.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
hoping he'll
probably-
eventually become like a somewhat good guy, but also sometimes a bad, a bit like a better version of Huntress.
Mhm.
Like they tried to do that with Huntress, where it's like maybe she's a good guy this time, maybe she's a bad guy, and then she just became a rubbish character and a horrible love interest type thing.
Yeah, every
But
episode she was
they
in
can't
was
do
terrible.
that with Anarchy.
But she's
Yeah.
So-
hot, so
She
That's
was
already
hot.
one good thing.
Yeah, so that's kind of it on the DC TV side of things. Not a whole lot of big news on that one, but Constantine to me is really cool, and it's cool to see other characters cast on Arrow. Hopefully, they have a bigger impact on the show than just being
Yeah.
one-note villains. Moving on, we are on to X-Men news. First off, we've got Gambit has been hinted to appear in Apocalypse, and this has kind of been going on for a really long time. And it was shown in a picture with Channing Tatum posted by Bryan Singer, and it said, like, I've been waiting a long time to work with this guy. So it definitely seems like it is the case that Gambit will make an appearance first in Apocalypse, which is cool, but it also brings into question, like, when is the movie going to take place then?
I don't know, but he's going to throw a load of playing cards at Ivan Ooze.
Shut up.
I mean,
Well,
I,
We know in the old X-Men universe, Gambit was, well, he was probably in his 20s in 1963.
Yeah.
His Wolverine
And then he got
origins.
a skin transplant.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing is...
Channing Tatum.
Yeah, because of the whole reboot and everything that happened with Days of Future Past, a lot of the characters' looks have obviously changed. So they've obviously gone their route with casting Channing Tatum. So you can get away with that.
As we established last week, he was drafted
Yes.
quite early
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, we can definitely establish that part. But this also brings into question, like, will the movie probably take place in the 80s then? Probably.
I would say so. I think for one reason was because that's when the character itself got really popular. Gambit got
And
huge in the 80s.
If they're going to embrace the trench coat and the headband, I think the 80s would be a good time frame for that.
I mean, Gambit like
that's what I was
Gambit like Jubilee has that, definite 80s look
touch.
that kind of defines them.
Yeah, that'll probably definitely be the case. And it's like whenever I read a Gambit story, it always feels like it takes place in an older time. It doesn't always feel modern-ish. I don't know. He always seems like a character that fits more in the past than he does in modern time X-Men stories.
Because he's a rebel, James.
Yeah, he's a rebel.
Like Pee Wee Herman.
I guess the question is I guess the real question is Gambit and Wolverine going to know each other before, again, like they did in Origins and in the comics?
No, I don't think so.
Do they know each other in Origins?
They didn't know each other. They met.
They
met.
Origins at the end. But here's the thing: is because the second half of Origins, after the first 20 minutes, takes place in the 80s. So that's been rebooted now with Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
So they've never met.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have a surprise Wolverine cameo in the Gambit movie for all we know or whatever.
Mhm.
So we don't know when that takes place. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he probably will, just because it feels it'll be easier to establish that these movies these spin-offs like Deadpool and Gambit take place in the same universe if you have like a Wolverine appearance. He's like the Nick Fury of the X-Men movies. It's like he'll just throw him in there so people know, like, oh, it's part of that world. Okay. And I mean, Hugh Jackman doesn't leave to Wolverine 3, and Gambit comes before that, so there's definitely a chance of that.
yeah, I mean he'll yeah.
So yeah, stuff to look forward to. Hopefully it happens, because I would like to get a glimpse at Gambit before the movie comes out, and it feels like a good idea to introduce him, so that way more people are accustomed to seeing the character in his actual solo movie, much like what they're doing with Wonder Woman and Batman vs Superman. Next up, we've got a J-Law, Jennifer Lawrence, is open to being in more X-Men movies.
I mean,
I think it's better than just having Wolverine show up and everything.
Yeah.
I mean
that is true.
I know Puff wants this, but
Yes.
I could honestly be indifferent.
Mhm.
I kind of wish.
I'm kind of getting tired of the Mystique show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired of her as a protagonist because she's not.
Mhm.
She's one of
Well,
the better.
I think we'll see her arc towards the villainous one that we know more from the comics.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Maybe
think
not in
that's-
Apocalypse, but anything after that.
Well, I think it was Bryan Singer who said, like, Apocalypse is definitely in many ways, it's kind of the end of that whole trilogy of the Charles, Eric, Raven relationship.
Yeah, I mean, she may want to come back for more or be open to them, but I don't expect her. Like, after that, they can all pack up their bags and run.
Yeah,
all the actors and writers and directors.
It's very possible that she'll be dead at the end of the movie, and she's just feigning questions right now. We don't know, and I kind of have a feeling she'll be dead. I feel like Magneto will also be dead by the end of that movie.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. I
Really?
really like Michael Fassbender, but I have a feeling that's how
Fassbender.
they're gonna work it.
I'll
As
cry.
just because I love Michael Fassbender, I think that's good just because it opens the door to more X-Men villains.
Yeah,
There are
exactly.
so many.
Yeah, I
But
think they're starting to realize.
We've seen
Other
wow,
than Magneto.
yeah,
Five.
they've started to realize probably that they've had Magneto in too many movies at this point.
Everyone.
And I like Magneto, obviously. I love him, but
my
I think they're
favorite.
starting to be like, we should probably shake him off and move on to other characters now.
Yeah, well, at least it provides a nice kind of. The series as a whole is more of a Charles and Eric storyline more so
Yeah.
than an X-Men if you want to work that. Not that it's preferable that way, but I mean, at least in retrospective, it's pretty nice.
And they could always kind of like write him off and keep him for later, because I kind of equate him as the Loki of the Fox universe, kind of really in that stance. So I could see them, if they don't kill him off, or if they do kill him off, even bringing him back for like a one more time use.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's a bunch of open doors. I mean, we brought this up on the last podcast too, is that we're still so early on, funny enough, with this movie series going on for 15 years. We're still kind of really early on in this X-Men universe. So we're not really sure like where they're going to go with these other characters now that we've kind of come to the end of the quote First Class trilogy. You know, there's so many different ways it can go, and who knows at this point.
I like that First Class trilogy.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, I coined that term. So next up,
Copyright.
yeah. Next up, we've got an official look at Apocalypse, Magneto, and Psylocke. And I know Buoy has some very
Ivan
vocal feelings.
Ooze.
Yeah. It's no secret now how many comparisons.
I'll
have been
get
made.
you, Power Rangers.
I didn't like the look of Apocalypse at first, and it with the close up and everything, and I looked at the obviously it's not what I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like it at first, but now that I've seen it a couple of times in a different shot, whatever, I've grown to like it a little bit. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fine. I mean, I really dig Psylocke's look, and same with Magneto's, his dapper shit kind of wardrobe he's got going on. But yeah, and then Apocalypse, I mean, he almost looks like a blueberry to me, but a really menacing blueberry.
He looks like the menacing bodyguard of the Blue Man Group.
we need that. Someone please Photoshop a picture of Apocalypse next to the Blue Man Group.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm fine with the look. I don't really have a lot of problems with it. And there was an EW cover released today without all the text all around it, and I think he looks better than we saw in that one still where he looked really purple and did definitely look a lot like Ivan Ooze. And I think it's just that was a case of just bad lighting, and that really has affected people's perception of it. But I think on the cover he looks fine. To me, yeah, he looks like one interpretation of Apocalypse. Definitely not one I would have expected because there's no fucking tube shooting out of his back or anything like that. But he's got the grin thing going, but it's kind of done more in a style where it's kind of going down then raising up again. And
Yeah.
it's not touching at his lips. But if you told me, hey, this is the movie version of Apocalypse, I'd believe it.
Also, let's not forget, this is Oscar Isaacs. Oscar
Yes.
Isaacs, to me, could make Cloud Galactus an interesting character.
Yeah, he's definitely going to make that role.
And I know that the line that's been bounced around a lot is that he's 50% practical and 50% CGI.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't a finished project. He's going to look different whenever we see him on screen.
Yeah, because I know there have been complaints, obviously, about the height that we saw in the one set photo and in the trailers before the CGI's ever been finished. And, you know, I'm sure he'll be taller. So, because I know that he's got he can change his height and everything, but I'm sure they're probably going to just, throughout the movie, make him, like, I don't know, 8 feet tall, just to make him more imposing. You know?
Yeah.
So
He looks quite tall in that cover.
Yeah, that's what I think his regular height will be around.
I feel like that cover's probably the closest look we'll see to what he's going to look like in the movie.
Until we get
since that's an
another trailer.
official picture of him.
Yeah.
So
But again, they'll probably change what he looks like in post
Mhm.
because they'll decide on something else.
Yeah. I'm very much with this, in this case, I'm very much taking the same route I did with Quicksilver in Days of Future Past, in that his look is okay, you know? If you told me it was a character, I'd believe you, but I'm sure we're going to be wowed by it like we were with Quicksilver's appearance in Days of Future Past, so I have a feeling it'll be the same
I get
thing.
what they're trying to do with it. They're trying to do like a techno Egypt type thing, I think. Like you can, I can see a lot of like I can see a lot of Egyptian like kind of influences in the costume, but then it also looks very futuristic at the same time.
Yeah.
And it feels like someone who was from that time, but very far ahead of his time. If you get what I mean, like he seems like he looks like he could be from Egyptian times, but still be very futuristic looking.
It feels like what a version of Apocalypse would be if you kind of like tried to gather around every single aspect of the character and kind of mushed them all into one ball.
Into a blueberry.
Exactly. A big old blueberry.
Does that include the multiverse version of him where he's Ivan Ooze?
Oh boy.
Just a tad, just a smidge of that.
They matched a lot of that one
I
into him.
really like the Psylocke outfit for obvious reasons.
Obviously, yes.
Obvious reasons.
It's really close to the comic books.
Yes,
that's why
very.
I
That's what
like
I was
it.
gonna say,
I'm
too,
actually-
is
I'm
really
actually-
close.
Digging the Magneto one as well.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not a fan of it.
I saw a comment somewhere. I honestly don't remember even the site, but it was saying how the costumes on Psylocke and Magneto almost look like that they won't be their actual costumes, but they'll be sort of the costumes they get when they become
The Horseman.
That's what I yeah.
Yeah.
Magneto's looks like it's not a costume he would make himself. It seems like something that would be given to him because it looks too futuristic for that time period.
And it kind of resembles Apocalypse's outfit.
Yeah.
To me, it reminded me a lot of Onslaught. So maybe down the line, maybe after Apocalypse, we'll get Onslaught.
That'd be cool. I'm always for introducing more villains into this universe because the X-Men have a lot of villains that haven't been touched.
Yeah, Mr. Sinister.
As long as we don't get an Australian Juggernaut again.
I'm the Juggernaut.
You know
bitch.
Vinnie Jones is English.
Yeah.
Whatever.
he was on another side. He was in another country. It's the same difference.
But before we move away from X-Men, we also saw the actual X-Men costume briefly with Jennifer Lawrence and Evan Peters wearing it. I don't like it.
No.
Especially after what we had in First Class. This is just back to the black. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, where did we see this? I missed this image.
There was also because all these images came from an EW shoot, and some were from the film, and one of them featured Jennifer Lawrence and Evan Peters in costume. You just sort of
I did see that.
But you can see the suits are black.
Yeah. No. I mean, I was fine with what they had in what was it? Oh, Days of Future Past. For what little costumes they had, because it looked like they had that kind of yellow blue mesh underlying, especially with like Logan. But
But it's possible you're not taking into account that those characters very well may not be X-Men in it. They may very well be part of the Brotherhood.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
I just don't like the black costume.
Quicksilver definitely won't be a good guy. I doubt it. I mean, he's going to probably go to Magneto, and probably Mystique will too. I don't know.
Would Wolverine have willingly brought Magneto to a future Brotherhood member?
I don't. Yeah. I don't know. Well,
maybe
he didn't know that Quicksilver was related to Magneto.
Nobody knows that he knows him in the future. If he's in the Brotherhood, he knew he was in the Brotherhood.
Yeah, but didn't he say like he was an old man or whatever? Maybe it never came up. We don't know. Plus, that's from a future now that doesn't exist.
True.
So past Wolverine's not going to know that. So
yeah, I suppose in this, Magneto might not have come across Quicksilver in this in the old universe. In this one,
glories,
he has.
The glories of
those black costumes. To me, they resemble Magneto's costume from Days of Future Past.
I could see that.
Looking at them now, they look like almost black versions of them, with like the green bits on them. But then the problem is, then there's another picture of Jennifer Lawrence in the cerebral chamber.
Maybe it's possible she joined up with Charles near the end when Apocalypse is wrecking shit. I don't know. It's really hard to tell because it's like we don't know a whole lot.
No.
I mean, even to seem like I'm just shutting down all your theories, but Charles has hair in that photo, so it's before he shaves.
Well. But again, we don't know when Charles shaves. Maybe he shaves. Maybe the final shot of the movie is him shaving his head.
He's in the middle. He's in a bathroom and he's shaving his head. He's like, "I'm pretty." I'm pretty.
Putting makeup on. I'm pretty. Smudging up the lipstick. If anyone saw Filth, then you would probably appreciate that more. All right.
That's not the image I wanted in my head.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're moving on now to a little bit of disappointing news. I kind of saw it coming, but for Age of Ultron, the second Avengers movie that did very well box office, not as good reviews, obviously, as the first movie, but still received pretty well. There's not going to be a director's cut for it.
Yeah, that's expected. Marvel doesn't really do that with a lot of their films.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them because, I mean, it's not like they need to or anything like that, where you have the road cut and everybody's flipping a tit.
Yeah. But then again, the road cut came out like 7-8 months later, and I mean, it's like when you look at, say, like Wolverine, that came out with the extended cut with it. on the 3D Blu-ray version. So I would have liked to have seen a director's cut just because it's like when you watch Age of Ultron, I like the movie, I really do. But there are certain parts of it where it kind of feels like it's going a little bit too fast, or you can definitely feel a scene's been chopped out of here.
Yeah.
So it's kind of disappointing.
A part of me thinks that Whedon just doesn't want to go back and do things for Marvel anymore. He seems a bit tired out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the last we see of Whedon in Marvel.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
He's done.
At the same time, like, it's not going to suffer from having no director's cut. It's not going to be as drastic as, say, Daredevil, where the director's cut is a much better film than the theatrical cut. But it's still disappointing that we won't see it.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen more of it, and hopefully we could have gotten certain relationships and bits of it better established, because it was like that Hulk Black Widow relationship thing, I think, needed a little bit better development. And yeah,
just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a smidgen.
Do we know what specifically we didn't cut out? Like, we knew ahead of time that Rogue was cut from Days of Future Past. Do we know what he cut from Age of Ultron? Like, any backstories or?
I think there was a Vision scene that was cut.
The Force scene was going to be much longer, I think he said.
Because
we saw in the trailer that weird woman, like, everyone speculating about.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that scene was going to be a lot
unneeded
longer.
journey was also.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That pretty much all of Thor's journey was cut out of the movie.
Sorry, I must have phased that.
yeah, that's that. I think that was probably like a good 10 minutes of the movie that just got chopped out.
Yeah,
but then when it's actually set up, you're just like, okay.
I felt
nowhere.
especially about that scene when I first saw the movie. I was like, well, that was just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he just kind of went into the bath and had a couple of visions, and I was just like,
don't we all?
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's could have been better.
I know when I get into the bath, I flash back to Vietnam. Yeah, so it's disappointing that it's not coming about. Not a big deal, really, but it's disappointing. I really would have liked to have seen it, and I know Marvel Studios like never does a director's cut, but I think sometimes it would actually benefit some of their movies. Thor: The Dark World, and kind of the case here with Age of Ultron. But oh well, you know, I still like Age of Ultron. I still think it's a good movie. It's a damn good movie. It's a good time. So no big loss, just a disappointment. This, on the other hand, is a major disappointment for me, but I don't know how everyone else feels. For Doctor Strange, the movie directed by Scott Derrickson, starring the wonderful Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yay!
Yes, that's great. Tilda Swinton has been cast as the Ancient One.
Boo.
Cool.
You know,
I don't really care.
No,
you go ahead.
I was gonna make a smart ass comment. When I think of an old Asian man, I think of an androgynous white woman. Instantly comes to mind.
It must be a ginger thing. Because we have the same thought here, you know. Yeah.
You know, wow.
Yeah, but that's a pretty stereotypical role to give to an Asian man.
Is.
Yeah, well.
So it's stereotypical to be Asian.
Well, no, not.
What?
Not in that sense, but I mean, if you go back and read some of the early stuff, it's I'm gonna say not always political correct. Yeah.
Comics were racist, okay?
Incredibly, yeah.
Stan Lee, he's an old man. He's not completely politically correct
He's from
all
a
the time.
different
It's fine to
time.
say.
But he wrote
It was
those
a
when he
different
was
time.
of age,
It's
boy.
different people. Those comics, they're racist. Half of them were
But-
called
but
like
here-
Black Panther and stuff.
Here's the thing, though, is they could have easily updated it. I mean, really? You could still have an Asian actor playing an old Asian, warlock, or, and still, not sell it as some stereotype.
Well, I like the idea of the Ancient One being a title more than being one
Yeah.
person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't particularly like Tilda Swinton, not because of the different gender, just it seems
'Cause
like
you
Marvel
don't
have
like her as an actress.
nightcast. Well, Marvel have nightcast two of the strangest looking people in Hollywood as the lead and second lead in Doctor Strange.
Someone morphed them into one person. I want to see what that looks
Please,
like.
yes.
Yeah, I'm not a huge,
Eyes everywhere. And
I'm not a
all
huge
sorts.
fan of Tilda Swinton, so I was kind of.
I don't have an opinion on her as an actress, sorry, or actor. Is that the politically correct term now? I don't know.
Whatever.
But
Whatever.
she has, as you said, a sort of otherworldly appearance. I don't hope that doesn't offend her. I doubt she's listening to this anyway.
Hey, tell us when.
But I'm a big Doctor Strange fan, and it doesn't really bother me that much. I'm like, she looks like she could be some kind of celestial cosmic being of some sort. She could. I mean, it's a different adaptation of the story.
Yeah.
And obviously, after they cast Baron Mordo, I can't remember his name.
Chitwell Elafor.
Yeah,
the guy from 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, they're going down a different route with that character, too. So, I mean, I'm completely fine with it. I'll wait till I see her in action as the character before I hold any judgment. I mean, if she comes up on screen and she's, like, doing some weird, goofy voice. And
she's going to be like Johnny Depp in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
But right now, I'm okay with the casting. I think she looks like she could pull it off.
It's all going to depend on the interpretation they go for.
I mean, I'm sure this movie is going to be really trippy. So I can imagine some trippy scene with rainbows in it.
MCU magic this far has been
science.
Alien science.
Yeah.
So maybe
was it magic is science? We haven't explained yet. It's like, you be quiet for. We want Doctor
the fact
Strange.
that she looks like an alien is a good thing in that regard.
Yeah, I think
if
it
they
is.
go for that same route.
Wow, this is
wow.
Trying to be nice is an area of struggle over here.
Hey, you know
she
what?
looks
Tilda
like
Swinton,
an alien, okay?
Tilda Swinton
So
purposely
does
does
Benedict
really weird,
Cumberbatch.
like Bjork style pictures. So she should be fine with this comparison, okay? It's
Well,
I don't hate the casting.
And we could possibly be getting Rachel McAdams as well,
Oh yeah, that's right.
because she is rumored
I'm
for
down pat with that.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
please.
You could cast her as Doctor Strange, and I'll watch that 7 times in a movie theater.
At least I can sit back knowing that at the very least this movie's going to be better than the 70s one, if you guys have ever seen that.
Nope.
It's like a softcore. It's like a softcore porn.
it's
Well, now
pretty
I know
bad.
What to watch when I get home today.
Huh, okay, didn't expect that.
Yeah.
That's better than what I expected.
Hey, you know what? If we can all get a bunch of porn spoofs, some more, like of every movie, not just Batman vs Superman, every movie.
Old Marvel movies are the best.
Yes.
The Notebook.
Schindler's Fist.
Schindler's Fist.
I'm not proud that I know this, but there's already a Batman vs Superman porn parody.
I know, I saw
Oh,
that.
no.
I saw the picture. I haven't seen the movie.
I haven't
wish I saw
watched
the
it.
movie.
I haven't watched it.
I want to watch it.
I'm in, Gary.
Wow.
I've seen it though. I've
Moving
seen
on?
the picture.
I watched the Safe for Work trailer.
I remember like going on Facebook and someone posted the picture of like I bought it like proudly. They had it in their hands.
There's a Safe for Work trailer for a porno?
Yep.
What? Why would you
made for
watch that? It just ruins the whole...
So you can watch it at work and have all your colleagues over and be like, "Hey guys, watch this with me."
Look at these not boobs.
I always love how those movies have far more superheroes than the actual movie does.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like their cinematic universe is already far bigger than the DC one.
The pornomatic universe.
Kevin Sujihara should just be asking them for some advice.
Alright, let's move on from this. Okay, moving on to some more Marvel news. That's the last one for today. There are the writers for the new Spider-Man reboot have been chosen, and they are the people who wrote the newest Vacation movie.
Were they chosen, or was it a rumor?
Well, I think it's Deadline reporting or something.
Yeah, usually if Deadline's reporting, it's usually pretty much confirmed.
I don't believe it.
It was...
I wish I didn't believe it because I'm not a fan of their work, but
I don't think I've seen anything they've done.
they did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2.
Oh God, no! Oh God! Oh no! Oh dear! Crap! That was a terrible sequel. First movie, brilliant, brilliant. Second one, no, not good, not good.
Yay.
Well, I don't think it really matters at this point, at least for myself, who they get, because Marvel's batting, 100%, they're solid right now. So,
Yeah.
I think it depends more so, or
Well, how much?
who they have behind the scenes is really
Yeah.
giving way to how the film turns out with Feige and co behind them.
Yeah.
Here's-
We know it's like we do get the Russo bros and everybody directing. I think.
Well,
I
how
think
much?
the influence? Okay.
Ah,
you go,
sorry.
Jelly.
How much influence does Marvel Studios have over this movie?
I'm assuming
50%.
Yeah,
I feel like the writers
40%?
won't man.
I think it's 40-60 to
Yeah.
Sony.
Yeah.
Do the writers in Marvel movies really matter that much? I'm pretty sure Marvel already has an idea of what they want the story to be.
Yeah.
And they'll give the
they're
writers.
just
They're like,
there.
here you go, writers.
They really need-
write the fill in the
Yeah, if
blanks.
they really need help, they'll probably call in the Russos because they don't have Whedon anymore
Yeah.
to spice up their scripts. They'll just fly him in through a
Yeah.
helicopter.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
because
the Russos didn't write the Winter Soldier either. They got
Oh shit, that's right.
the McFeely dude and
Was Whedon the
else.
only one that wrote the scripts for his movies?
Yep. Well,
John
they had
Favreau, did he do
I
some
think
of
he
Iron
helped
Man?
with.
I'm
Yeah.
sure he helped write it because that movie
Well,
had
they
no
didn't
script.
really. Yeah, they didn't have a script. It was more. It's like a $1 million student film.
Well, okay, let's go back to the writers. Okay, here's the work they've done. They have done Horrible Bosses, the first one.
Not seen that.
It's okay. It's a good movie.
It's a good
Yeah.
movie.
Watchable.
The Incredible Burt Wonderstone.
Not
Guilty
seen
Not
that.
pleasure.
not at all watchable. Not good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Up for debate. Jim Carrey was the silver lining.
Yeah. I will say he was the best part of that movie. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2.
No.
They also did Horrible Bosses 2.
I like
No,
that.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Chris
I'm
Pine,
sure all
I mean,
the
it's
audience
was
I'm
great
sure
in
the
that.
audience did too. That's why it bombed.
Not as good as the first, I don't think.
That's
But
a given
again,
with comedies.
it's watchable again.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's watchable.
And they just recently did, which is coming out very soon, Vacation. The kind of restart to the Vacation movies, the National Lampoon movies.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys. I know Blackjack, you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah.
It looks freaking hilarious.
I'll probably give it a watch when it
yeah.
comes to the Dollar Theater or something.
Yeah, I'll probably check it out, but it's just because usually comedy trailers never do it for me. Because they always kind of really screw up a lot of the jokes that are actually in the movie. So we'll see when that comes about. My problem is with these writers being chosen is that they also, you have to take into account the director that's doing it is John Watts, who has done really only one movie.
Like one, yeah, one movie.
This is pretty much like the Mark Webb situation all over again, where they've got.
He did some good Spider-Man movies.
We're not going to do that whole argument. 'Cause
That's a whole podcast in
yeah,
itself.
I know how some of you feel about it, but this is kind of the same occurrence where we've got a director who's only done one major movie, who's still very much an indie director, and he's been chosen to do the Spider-Man reboot. And I don't even remember who the hell the writers were for the first Amazing Spider-Man, because there were like 5. But I don't know, this doesn't...
I feel like
hate
it's a
this
very
stuff,
different
so-
situation with Marvel, though.
Good old Sony.
I feel like
But
with Marvel, they'll take this guy and they'll just mold him into what they want him to be and say, make this movie. Your name will be on the poster, but it's our idea. We're just...
That's exactly
putting
what
it-
Sony did.
Yeah, but that was Sony.
But Sony
I
has
mean,
more
they
influence.
didn't
It's been
really have
established.
an idea of what they're doing. Marvel are like, we've got Spider-Man. We can't screw this up.
But
We
it's
have
been
to get it
established
perfect.
That Sony has final say on everything. So they can
Yeah.
be the ones who are in charge of the final cut of the movie. We might have, a Daredevil situation where we get a really shitty cut, and then you're like, oh, the director's cut was so much better.
I could.
I'm hoping not. I'm
One thing
really
I
hoping
do-
not. I
but
really
one
want
thing
this
I
movie
can't
to be good.
afford.
One thing I
Sony
do.
can't afford to take a. Oh, okay.
Go
I
ahead.
can't afford a risk.
yeah, they can't afford a risk. So I have a feeling that they're really gonna, give Marvel Studios a lot more leadway than what it may state in the contract.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's gonna be follow the leader.
This is the third time they've had a shot at Spider-Man. They need to get this one right, or else I don't know what they'll do. They have to kill Spider-Man off or something.
Get
think-
Miles Morales in it.
I think one thing I do like about this is, and it's probably the only thing that I like about it right now, is that Spider-Man's kind of a smartass. He's kind of a comedian himself. Well, the correct Spider-Man, not the
Yeah.
the one we had in the first 3 movies where he was just kind of
Here's your change.
a stale board or whatever. As good as I liked the first 2 movies,
He
you know,
danced
it
in the
wasn't-
third one. I like that
It
bit.
wasn't a Spider-Man. And I really felt like Garfield's Spider-Man was closer to how Spider-Man
Yeah.
should have been.
He
And-
was, to me, he was a perfect Spider-Man. Not
and
good Peter Parker.
He was the perfect Spider-Man in imperfect Spider-Man films.
Yeah, and having writers with a comedic background could, really help portray this correct Spider-Man character that we're supposed to get.
All right. I can understand that. I can see where you're coming from there.
But
like I said, I hope this movie's great.
Their credentials kind of worries me, as you guys say.
My only thought now is the fact that Spider-Man won't be as child-friendly humor as Cloudy Has a Chance of Meatballs 2 was, and it won't be as adult humor as some of the other movies have made, so it'll be kind of in the middle. And I don't know if maybe their humor will be better there, where it's not just trying to be silly humor, and it's not trying to just be adulty, dirty humor.
Can they handle that?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Some might say that the humor in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is actually better than the humor in Horrible Bosses.
I've not seen Horrible
Cloudy
Bosses,
with
so I can't
Is
confirm.
that what you say? Is that you, Deb, that's going to say that? Is that you?
They know.
Is that you? Okay, good.
I'm the only person.
Okay, well, be aware, we're talking about Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2.
I didn't even know they made a second one.
Yeah, no one did.
Yep. They went to the island and all the animals were food, and it was... In concept, it should have been a good idea, but
that's
it didn't pay off.
That.
That's enough for that.
First movie was brilliant.
Yeah, I hope the movie is great. I really like... I think out of the choices they had, I really like Tom Holland, who they chose for Spider-Man. Marissa Tomei.
But they're going to laser off his mole.
He got rid of his mole. Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Marvel forced him to do it?
Well, he got rid of it.
Got it off like a year or two ago.
Yeah. The problem is just all the pictures you've seen of him are from a year ago.
But how long have the Marvel talks been going? I think it's Illuminati.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Black helicopters.
Okay.
It's fine, I'm not an American citizen. I can say all that stuff and the NSA can't touch me.
Oh, that's what you think. We like to invade other countries.
They don't know
You obviously know nothing about America.
It's like as soon as Buoy says that, he looks out of his window and just sees a SWAT team come in.
Why are those lights outside?
Obama rings the doorbell. Let me be clear.
Alright, let's move on from the Spider-Man news onto a little quick bit about the Arkham Knight DLC.
Whoop!
Recent one announced for some skins, which is going to include the Batman costume and the Batmobile from 1989 Batman, the Tim Burton movie.
Keaton-mobile.
Keaton-mobile.
It looks so cool.
It does look good. I would probably buy it, depending on the price.
No, you say it.
There you go.
After you.
No, I was just going to say, I'll probably buy it depending on the price, but,
yeah,
it's a cool little addition.
I saw some comment from some guy on YouTube. He's like, oh no, it's only going to be playable in the races. It's not going to be in free roam, like in the normal Gotham part. But he said he read that in the press release. I read the press release loads of times. It doesn't mention it once.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's just misinterpreted it, because it mentions the fact that it comes with 2 races. So a lot of people online have been like, oh no, we can't play it. That sucks. Screw Rocksteady. They already messed up everything else. Grrr. So, but I feel like I should say that and make sure that they didn't say it's not going to be on it, and they haven't confirmed that yet.
They didn't say...
And I noticed they didn't say that it's not going to be in free roam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but here's the problem, though, is you have the Batmobile, and how are they going to turn that into a tank?
Well, see, I looked at it. The model's slightly changed, and there does look like there's maybe cuts in it where it can expand like the Batmobile does in the game, and maybe they've just made a completely new model that obviously wasn't in the movies, and it does expand out and go into battle mode. I feel like it would be a silly mistake not to put it in free roam. And if, like, for example, I know it's a smaller scale, but like with the Batman Beyond skin and stuff, it's a completely different cape mechanic. I feel like, although it's a much bigger model to make, I feel like they'll do a similar idea with the Keaton-mobile, and they'll make a different kind of battle mode for it that will still do the same stuff, it will just look different.
Yeah. I think I would be more hyped for this if they did what you had talked about before when we were just having personal talks, is if they did a skin of the entire world. Like where you were talking about how you always wanted to see like a Batman the Animated Series skin.
Oh, I want to see that so much. I saw in the code there's supposedly Timverse skins, and I'm hoping there's also a Tim like a Batman the Animated Series Batmobile, specifically the animated series, not the New Adventures. That stuff was rubbish. And I want to see that, and I'm hoping the races will be cell shaded too, and it'll look like the Gotham, and it'll have the red sky, and it'll be brilliant. Because that's just my favorite Batman
he
ever.
calls the New Adventures rubbish, but he talks about the sky, which is only in the New Adventures of Batman.
I know they have.
Well, no, it was in the opening credits. It was red.
But it
And
wasn't
for
in the
the
show.
animated series.
That doesn't count though. It wasn't in the show.
Yeah, it
No, it
was.
wasn't.
You fail, boy.
When I think of Batman the animated series, I think of the red sky and stuff.
Yeah.
But then I think of the character models that looked so much better in the animated series.
I know they have the skin, but it would be pretty cool if they did that with like the old '60s style as well, like the
Yes.
Batmobile, and then the surrounding out, you know, and Robin and his old.
Well, they're doing that. They are doing the '60s Batman, Robin, Batgirl, and Catwoman.
That'll be.
But they
be
did
so
the
cool.
Batmobile, and it was weird. It was like the Arkham Knight Batmobile, but they just put like the pinstripes on it and stuff, which got me scared for future Batmobile DLCs. But with the Keaton-mobile, it seems like that was just a one-time thing.
I know it would be a lot of work, but I was always like, okay, what I was saying with the skins and everything with the world, I would have liked if we couldn't do the world, maybe we could just do skins on every character. Whereas like now that we have the Tim Burton Batman, we can have the everything from that anthology.
Villains?
Even the Uma Thurman Poison Ivy.
Two-Face.
Yes. And then
There's going to be Mr. Freeze DLC. Are you sure you want to see that?
You see Arnold.
Yeah.
Time
Thank God
to
Bane isn't in that game.
off.
What killed
Need
the
to
dinosaurs? The
chill.
Ice Age.
The Ice Age.
A bad freeze puns.
I would be so for that.
Oh, that movie.
They put new dialogue and everything in for him.
Yeah. Have Arnold come bring his old ass in. Just have him in a voice box doing
He
it.
needs the money. He needs the money.
We all know that was the
Terminator
best
isn't gonna
Batman
bring him
movie
anywhere.
ever made.
We
Let's
need
be honest.
to do a commentary on that. There's a ton of films that we need to do that on.
Just talk about
Well, next week I'm going to do my Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs commentary. Because I know
and
everyone wants to see that.
repeatedly bash the sequel the whole entire time.
I'm going to do the first one, then I'll do the sequel in 2 weeks. Wait for that.
Get excited, people. It's not happening.
I'm working on
Alright.
custom thumbnails and everything.
We're gonna move on from this point onto the trailers. And there were not a lot of comic book movie trailers, obviously, but there were some cool trailers that we want to talk about just outside of the superhero boom. First up, we have a trailer which stars the wonderfully delicious Tom Hardy.
Who should play Han Solo?
We've
No,
if we had to be forced.
Not for today. Okay.
That's- okay.
I'm gonna
I don't have a lot to say about these trailers, so I just wanted to say something.
No Han Solo prequel.
We have the Legend trailer. Which is all about the Krays, who were twin gangsters in the 60s, I believe.
Yeah, Reggie and Ronald.
Yes.
I believe are their names. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. You go first.
Well, I was just gonna say that I'm a big fan of Tom Hardy. I pretty much loved like all of his performances in every movie, even in the shitty movie This Means War. I still loved him in it, and it's just great because now I get two Tom Hardys in one movie, and they're completely different. It's like watching Bronson Tom Hardy versus Inception Tom Hardy, where you've got one with a really weird way of speaking and then one with a normal way of speaking, and they're
You are going to empty your balls out in the theater, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm freaking excited for that movie as well.
Yeah. And the thing all the trailers that they've had thus far have been great because the last trailer it kind of gave off that almost kind of Goodfellas-esque vibe, you know, and then this one it kind of showed that it's gonna have some comedy bits, almost like The Wolf of Wall Street. I know that was like a straight up dark comedy, and this isn't, but it's still kind of. It shows off that we're going to have those kind of little quick punches in there.
It has that vibrant feel that makes a great gangster movie.
Yeah, so, yeah, it balances out the dark with the dark comedy. So, that was great.
I came for a shootout.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah. For me, well, I mean, I didn't know anything about these two first movies that we're doing trailer reviews on. You know, and just came back from vacation or anything. So like right before this episode, I was just watching these trailers, and I really enjoyed the Legend trailer. I think it'll be a unique movie. I think it'll be it's got some good comedy aspects in it.
Yeah.
And whatnot. I'm not sure if it's a movie I'll go see like opening weekend or something like that, but.
Yeah, it's definitely a movie I'll definitely check out, and probably if I like it, if it's good, I'll pick it up when it comes out in Blu-ray and whatnot. It looks really good, and I can't wait to see it. And also, it's got Taron Egerton from Kingsman, and he's a really talented young actor, so that's cool. Hey, that's how we can round it out with comic book movies.
Didn't it have Christopher Eccleston in it as well?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, former Marvel
he's the
alumni.
police commissioner guy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And Doctor.
Yes.
For all you Doctor Who fanatics out there.
Yeah, so that's cool. It's got a really good cast, so it's definitely a movie I'll be looking for when it comes out. Next up, we've got a movie by the Oscar award-winning director. Starring Alejandro Gianarrito.
Oh, did you do that on purpose?
No. The Oscar-winning actor, Alejandro. It's from the guy who directed Birdman, and I loved Birdman. That was a really great movie. And it is The Revenant, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy.
One of them.
Domhnall Gleeson's in it too, and
yeah, that's right.
The one kid from We're the Millers, I think, is in there
Poulter?
as well.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that trailer. It was. I don't think it was just. I think I liked the Legend trailer a little bit more.
It wasn't as comprehensive.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it was just a lot of beautiful shots, really.
Yeah, really, really, really beautiful shots.
Yeah.
Like that cinema, because I wasn't sure what to expect, because Alejandro seems to be the kind of director that really likes to push the boundary of filmmaking. And so when he said that he was using all natural lighting, I was wondering how he was going to shoot it. Like if it was going to be a lot of wide shots, or if it was going to be a lot of up close, kind of facial expressing based. And the trailer showed that was the latter kind of style. You know, like the horse scene specifically, where he's riding out. Yeah, I thought that was great. Because it captivates, you know, what's going on behind him, the nature, and then the kind of terror that's on his face.
What I like is that he kind of brought over a similar style from what he had in Birdman, where you've kind of got the kind of uncomfortable close-up feel, but you've also got these really long, ongoing shots.
Yeah.
Of course, it's probably nowhere going to be near as long as Birdman was.
No.
No. Yeah, but there are a lot of shots that are noticeably like going on for a long time. Like I feel like that entire like horseback scene with Leonardo DiCaprio will probably go on for a really long time, and I like that. It's really cool. And it's a really challenging thing for a director to do.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I always want to say when I see a trailer with like Leonardo DiCaprio, like that's kind of that's gonna be his film, but I think.
You're gonna get loads of avatars out of it.
Yeah.
Look out, comic book movie viewers.
Yeah, but all right. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty preemptive to say what the competition's going to be like, but I think based on that film, he stands a far better chance, getting any kind of Oscar recognition than he did in, say, something like The Wolf of Wall Street, where that was more kind of a. The Revenant looks like it's going to be a much more personal kind of journey, as you could tell, and it's going to rely a lot on his acting. Whereas The Wolf of Wall Street, where it was a hell of a performance, I feel like it wasn't as big as a stretch as it could have been for him.
He was very much playing it safe. I felt very good performance, but he's very much playing the safe role that he's kind of always played.
Yeah.
And if the Revenant comes out, and then out of some huge galactic comedy, Tom Hardy wins an Oscar. And he doesn't.
That's what I was thinking. I kind of got that vibe too. I think Alejandro's definitely going to get some cinematography / well, I know he is
The
a
movie will.
cinematographer. Yeah, the movie will get some directing / cinematography recognition.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, it was cool watching the trailer and trying to recognize actors, and I couldn't tell Tom Hardy was even in it when I first watched it, just because he looks so drastically different from what I'm used to seeing.
Well, yeah, and then when I was first reading about it, I expected him to have like 3 teeth and like an eye patch and a big giant beard,
Yeah.
and look so look almost comical, especially after seeing DiCaprio with his giant like
His fur
bush.
coat or whatever.
Yeah,
And his beard.
bush of a beard. Yeah, so. Which, I mean, I guess it's fine, I expected Tom Hardy, to be a little bit more hammed up, but I really dig his look.
Yeah, it's definitely a movie we're looking forward to.
Yeah,
Anyone else?
It looks really, really, really good. Like the cinematography just looks phenomenal, and I like the era it's set in. I like kind of the old Western American type films. And this has definitely got that that old kind of a Western type feel to it.
Yeah, it's always nice to get a Western movie because there are not a lot of those anymore, and it's really cool to see them. Because usually when we get them, they're very good, like True Grit, and I thought 310 to Yuma was very good.
I even liked Cowboys versus Aliens, or Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah. Just because it was cool to get a cowboy movie.
Yeah.
Well, I like the
Lone Ranger.
Yeah, the Lone Ranger.
That movie was good. It should have got a title. Sequel, sorry.
I actually enjoyed
That
the Lone
should
Ranger.
have John Carter.
Where are you going on, Jelly?
I actually enjoyed the Lone Ranger, but this movie I actually am looking forward to this one more than I am the previous one we talked about. But.
Okay. Yeah, I can get that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it just because I really do love Western movies, so it's always a joy for me to see one come out and one look so expertly handled. So it's definitely one that I think a lot of us are looking forward to. And also, it's got the pedigree of, Oscar award-winning director behind the camera.
Mm-hmm. And DiCaprio and Hardy teaming up again since Inception.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, maybe DiCaprio will finally get an Oscar.
That's never happening.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy.
He doesn't need one.
All right. We've got our final trailer for the week. And it's the yes, it's actually a comic book movie, and it's very, 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 very controversial movie, the Fantastic Four reboot.
He's not stronger than all of us.
Controversial.
Yeah,
it is an understatement. Oh,
jeez.
I see so many people on the internet get butthurt about this movie, and it hasn't even came out yet.
All right.
You'll go onto any article, and I'm sure you'll find at least one person talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you go onto anything, and you'll find at least one person.
It's like Ant-Man. It's like Ant-Man's a good movie, but I'll tell you what's not a good movie: Fantastic Four. I've not seen it yet, but I can tell it's bad because I have sixth sense.
Well, certain movie sites have been known to have users who see movies in advance. So obviously,
just a reminder: send your hate mail to Jilly, not us.
Two episodes in, and we're already doing that, huh?
All right, let's before we get into all that spiel or go deeper into it, let's talk about the actual trailer first.
Yeah, it was fine. I think the mainly kind of new bits of it were the part where we see Reed and Ben as children.
Yeah,
because that's kind of Fox's habit, is where they don't really show a whole lot throughout the whole entire marketing process. Mm-hmm. They'll just each trailer's like 3 different TV spots cut up and then placed into one. Yeah. Which, I mean, it worked out with Days of Future Past. I don't know how it'll work out with this, because they really haven't shown a whole lot. Because you'll see the same shot, Ben diving out of the jet or whatever. Yeah. That's been, I think, in almost every teaser, trailer,
except for the first teaser. It's been in like every other form of marketing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
But you also got some other shots too, like you said, with them as kids, which I thought was a really cool thing to see. But you also had, near the end of the trailer, there were a lot more action shots than we've seen thrown into this one.
Yeah, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's been a one-trick pony thus far with the trailers. I mean, I'm excited to see it. It's just, I need a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
With the final trailer. But
I felt they brought enough for the final trailer. I felt they've kind of got the good formula going of where you don't show everything in your movie, because I know that's kind of always been a problem with a lot of superhero movies, is sometimes the trailers show too much.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. The worst case scenario being Amazing Spider-Man 2. So it's cool to see that, but it was nice to get extra shots of the action and also get a new look at Dr. Doom.
yep.
Yeah.
Who, the controversial Dr.
Oh.
Doom?
Oh, yeah.
Victor Doomashev. Actually, I actually think they renamed him back to Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
In the recent interview Tony Kibble did, he said that, and he also said that the hacker thing was nonsense and was a rumor to begin with.
The fanboy outcry.
Yes.
I actually enjoyed this trailer a whole lot. I was somewhat excited for this movie, but I'm now really excited for it because you get to see a little bit more, as you said, a little bit more of the characters in action and whatnot. Really just kind of, I think it'll be a good movie. I think it'll be kind of like on the tone of the X-Men movies that have recently came out, and I mean, if you like those, I think you'll like Fantastic Four. If you don't like those, well, you're up a creek. I mean,
Or if you liked Chronicle, you'll probably like this.
Well, it was funny because we all know about the rumored behind-the-scenes drama that was going on.
I didn't believe it.
I don't believe a single lick of it, but because there's been that whole thing of like, Josh Trank showed up every day high or whatever, and he caused thousands of dollars in damages. First of all, that was
stuff true?
Not confirmed. It was like, a source told us this.
It was alleged.
Yes.
And my uncle works at Nintendo.
Yeah. Here's the problem, though, is like, because I see a lot of people using that as a way to judge the movie. What happens behind the scenes should in no way ever judge your experience in the movie. Shouldn't judge your opinion at all.
Yeah, it was like the Bryan Singer fiasco that happened like a year ago or whatever.
So, yeah, it's very much similar to what happened last year to Bryan Singer and that whole alleged occurrence with the underage thing that happened like 15 years ago that didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
So
look at the development hell that Ant-Man went through, and it turned out fine.
Yeah, that went through a really rough development phase, and even where the director left, and that's a very good movie, and it did well. So there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that happened. There's a lot of outrage surrounding the movie, but I'm sure it'll turn out fine. And there's one thing I can be happy about is if the movie's good, there's no way in hell it's gonna bomb because the budget is so low for it compared to every other like action packed movie. Yeah. So do you guys have anything else left to say on it?
I think that's about it.
One thing I should note is I don't know how people are going to react to the Thing's voice.
Yeah.
Just a small thing. I feel like that might be something that gets comments about.
Yeah. The problem is we don't even know what his freaking final voice is because it was like the trailer 1 or whatever had a different voice than what it has in the final trailer. So who knows? We won't know until about 3 weeks here in the U.S. So if the movie's great, I will sing its praises. If it's terrible, I'll bash it and be like, it should go back to Marvel now.
Jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll be it for the show this week. Hope you guys all enjoyed watching. Does anyone else have anything left to say before we go?
No.
I'm happy with
No butt stuff? All right, cool.
That's good.
Hope you guys all enjoyed listening to the Comic Couch podcast. We hope to see you guys all next time, and goodbye.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.